I think I was a bit self-conscious, number one. But number two, you could see the difference. You could see the people that came from boxing backgrounds. You could see the support in the venues. You could see everything that was different because I was there by myself.
So you joined White Hart Lane. Talk to me about your first experience of walking in that gym and training session and all that.
You know what? So I was with Eagles for about a year, just because I don't want to say it's like a community gym because they compete, and I fought for them at least once. So it was like, yeah, in there, you're mixing. But then I've left to go to White Hart Lane. But I didn't just leave and find White Hart Lane. No, big up Gideon into, because that was my dog. Like, he's from the same area as me. And when I came to the gym, we're from the same area. I didn't know I went to school with his brothers. I didn't know all these things. I know these people. So we mixed and we created a really good bond and a really good friendship, brotherhood. And then I needed somewhere to go as a gym, like, because Eagles wasn't really working for me at that time. So then he took me and introduced me to Chris. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, that's one of the gifts. If that never happened, where would I be?
Again, it's like they talk about serendipity, and it's like you meet the right people at the right time, but you've got to be open and willing to kind of hear.
Exactly, definitely.
Do you know what I'm saying? Because I've obviously heard of Edmonton Eagles, but it's not one of those clubs that you hear about competing all the time.
Yeah, they're not as active. And when I was with them, I wasn't as active as I wanted to be. Great gym, great place to be, for sure. But what I can definitely say is, like, because I wasn't getting what I needed to advance and to go further, I didn't have much trouble leaving. So when Gideon took me to White Hart Lane, it wasn't as daunting because I trusted him. I still trust him now. So it's like, with him taking me there, I was like, oh, I'm in safe hands. I met Chris. Chris has got the most manners I've ever seen. So I was like, okay, the transition was easier. And because I had already been boxing for about a year prior, it was like, okay, my nerves ain't too high.
Yeah.
Then he had me sparring some of the guys that's a bit more experienced, and I thought, oh, so this is what boxing actually is.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, so maybe punches do hurt a little bit.
Until you've kind of stepped up, and I don't mean in a sense that you weren't trying to, but like the competition steps up, you're kind of like, oh, okay.
100%, because, like, again, like, you can only like, if you don't know something and you're not aware of it, it's like, it's halfway, it doesn't really exist. But then once I got there and I was like, oh, so this is what it means to really work hard. This is what it means to really do this. And I was like, okay, but because of who I am, it's like, I'll give my best shot.
Let me step up to that challenge.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let me step up. But here's the thing. I from kind of reading about you and learning that you kind of surpassed people that, had double, sometimes triple the amount of competitive bouts than you'd had.
Yeah.
And this is before you obviously got into Team GB. That already says to me about your character.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
as a coach, as a person that's been in the sport for a long time, you can kind of suss a kid that the difference between forgetting a gum shield and thinking of excuses.
Never did that one in my life.
Do you know that still gives me joking, like, oh, what gum shield?
I will never forget.
Rap.
Nope. Never forgot.
Boots.
Never forgot that one either. Not me. No, not me.
But and don't get me wrong, we're laughing about it, but I get it because it's like
it's daunting.
It is daunting. It goes from like bragging rights to this is
it's real.
The real
very
deal.
Real. This isn't, not to throw shade on WWE, but this isn't staged. Like, people call me and they ask me, like, yo, you actually getting punched in your face? I mean, I kind of got a bit of bruising, so I would imagine I did. But no, like, it is real. Like, there's no fraud. And like you said, you get found out.
You can't hide in that ring. You can hide in training, but you can't hide, even in sparring, you can't hide because, you know them ones where everyone's just standing around watching sparring. It almost becomes like, I still call that the rehearsal room, right? I think that's the place to fail. I don't really care whether, like, what I don't like is when people don't try something new they rely on, oh, well, I'm good at this, so I'm going to stick with that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
You know, it's people stepping out of their comfort zone, you know? Like, and I think because of my upbringing, I was prepared for that. And I was prepared to do that alone. And that's what made it, didn't make it easy for me, but it made it a thing where it's like, I was already aware I could do it. I had everything, everyone around me had instilled in me in my upbringing, and the area caused me to go through and experience things by myself as a young man. So with doing that, I already knew for me to do something I'd never done before, the fact that I'm even in the ring, I'm capable. I wouldn't be here if I wasn't capable to do this.
I mean, it's great that you had like people around you going, no, come on.
Yeah.
Because we both know that it's like, box or what? Or
we went through
you
that.
need what?
Yeah. We went through that for sure. Definitely.
Do you know what I mean? Like, who do you think you are? It's like, I'll show you who I am.
That was the upbringing. So that's part of the upbringing. It's like, I had to prove myself because I don't come from boxing family. No one in my family put on a pair of gloves and hit on them.
They're lovers, not fighters.
Exactly. So it's like, for me, I kind of got to show you, like, bro, do you know who your little cousin is? Do you know who your son is, bro? Like, but then, of course, before they believe it, they showed a little concern and from maybe doubt. But then as I grew older, it's like, that's sort of a reflection of their own beliefs. It's not a reflection of what they think I'm capable of. And then you learn a lot about people, and it was just like, I understand. So the fact that I had to, because I care about their opinion more than anybody else's. 1000%. And if I can be courageous enough to go out my way to make sure I can show them that I'm really that kid.
You've just kind of touched on it there, that about their own, you didn't use the word limiting beliefs, but effectively that's what you're saying. Well, you realise early on, like, actually, that's about you. That's not about me. And and don't get me wrong, I'm not suggesting that people don't have genuine concern, because listen, it's a tough sport. No one wants to see their kid getting smashed up. Yeah. But equally, it's like, okay, well, I've chosen to do this. And then you realise that sometimes just people are, sometimes not consciously.
No, of course not. Definitely.
Trying to hold you back.
And I had to really accept that. And that again, boxing did so much for me as an individual. It taught me about people. It taught me how they operate, how they function. And it's like learning that I don't know how to deal with people better. Not only is that, like, the way they behave would have an effect on me. But I don't even truly understand your behavior. So it's like I'm coming to some form of conclusions without the right information. And maybe it's me that's stopping myself from understanding you. I grew as an individual through this sport.
And I'm guessing that the other stuff that comes from boxing, the wider skill set, is focus, determination, hard work. I mean, the list goes on.
Yeah, definitely. I think I have to shout out my cousin as well, my older cousin. He kept saying to me, there's going to come a time where you can just box and you don't have to work, you don't have to study, you don't have to do nothing. But for now, go hard at everything you can do, even the stuff that you don't want to do. And then, like, learning the hard work. Like, I was boxing, working, and I did my degree, honestly. But I was on Team GB while I was doing my dissertation, So it's like, it was difficult while still working a part-time job when I came back to London on the weekends or like during the week, without him kind of like emphasizing that when I was like a late teenager or like 18, 19. It was like, even when I was in college, sixth form, I would have struggled a lot when I got to Team GB if that wasn't there.
Are you the type of person that you're like, at the time you're just getting on with it, but have you had a time to kind of stop and reflect and go, boy, look at what I achieved under all those circumstances, and what I could achieve if I just had like the time to focus on my, let's say, boxing?
Yeah, I think about it, but I think I'm a very big fan of myself. And it's like, the thing I love the most about life is things aren't duplicated, and there will never be another story identical to mine. It won't, because I'm one of however many billion people. So it's like, I think to myself, what could have been, what would have been, but I can also be thankful for who I am and where I come from. And that's what I choose to do.
Yeah. So you get that call up for GB. Talk to me about that, like receiving, I'm presuming they still send out the old letters.
Yeah, that was a funny day. That was the funniest day. Linking back to the university, I was in my second year. No, I was in my dissertation year. So I got in during my dissertation year, like maybe 2 months into my dissertation year. And I just got I'm there doing the assessments, I'm stressing. And I mean, I was in Portugal when I got the email for another box cup. I'm in Portugal. I get email, and then but I got 2. So I got one from uni, and uni said, okay, cool. You was actually supposed to pass the assignment, but I didn't because I forgot to include something.
Remember that work?
How was that? And it was like one form I need to include. So I felt like one of my assignments. I was distraught. 10 minutes later, congratulations, we've selected you to be a part of Team GB. So I was like, so I'm not even supposed to feel right now.
I'm excited, but I'm sad.
What? But nah, it was great. And but then again, like, I'm in Portugal, I'm boxing that same day. I couldn't really think about it. I couldn't really
box
enjoy it.
innit? You have to put it in a box. But also, I wonder also, like, it's another thing to add to your plate, and you're like, oh man, that's next level focus whilst trying to study. What?
And that's what let me know, because I was focusing on getting through the assessment. But in doing that, I messed up on one of my assignments. And then I was like, oh, so this comes from me trying to even get on the team. And then it's not going as good as I would like it to go in my other areas of life, like university and stuff like that. As an amateur, my dream was to box for England, just put on England versus one time. I got into GB before I ever boxed for England. So I was confused.
And also, tell people how for that to happen is, I don't think I've ever heard, I could be wrong, and maybe I need to go and research this, but I don't think I've ever heard of anybody not actually boxing for Team England first.
I don't know, but a lot of these guys, they box for England as youths, went to the school, went to the Europeans, and they went to all these major things.
That's my point.
And I thought, like, even when I got up there, I had imposter syndrome. I was up there, I was thinking, damn, I must not really belong here. Or did I get here by chance? So I had to find that kind of belief. Like I said to you, I'm only here because I deserve to be here. I'm supposed to be here. Back then, I didn't always think like that.
Was that just solely from you, or were you made to feel like that at times?
I think I was a bit self-conscious, number one. But number two, you could see the difference. You could see the people that came from boxing backgrounds. You could see the support in the venues. You could see everything that was different because I was there by myself. Not only just on Team GB in Sheffield, but all these boxers knew each other from being on the circuit for years. And bear in mind, I had only won 2 nationals, and I hadn't boxed with England. I think I went to 1 England camp prior to that. So everything else I knew about England boxing, GB boxing, officially was I saw on TV. I saw on the internet. I Googled, I watched YouTube videos. That was what I knew. I didn't know much, and I wasn't familiar with it all. So it was like, it came from me being in my own head because, like I said, imposter syndrome. I know nothing about this.
When you're there, and it's a tough program, isn't it?
Yeah,
a very, very tough program.
It's not easy.
From not just mentally, apparently physically. When did that change for you? Was there a moment, a fight that made you feel like, actually, I belong?
A moment. I would say Boxing 2024. I boxed the European silver medalist. He had over 200 bouts.
It was Becky, son.
Boxed him after.
He was world number 2, wasn't he?
He was not one of them.
Listen, he's number 1 in Uzbekistan. I'm like, good luck with that. And then number 2 in the world. Yeah. And on the amateur scene, Uzbekis stands are good. Kazakhs, obviously, quality.
Definitely, they create problems for everybody. So see that boxing tournament, that one there, cool. Boxed his Frenchman.
It's probably the best I've seen you box, to be fair.
I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. Anyway, go on, carry on.
I loved it. So getting past that Frenchman, because 200 bouts, silver medalist at the Europeans. Really, truthfully, on paper, you're the best boy I've ever boxed. But I outclassed him, and that's when I thought, oh, I'm kind of nice with this.
You know what's nice, and it's such as a coach, it's a great thing when you see potential, and then great boxers, and I'm sure it happens in other sports, lift another boxer. And then it felt to me, when I've seen other bouts, like there's little pieces that are missing, like it might be in your defense or whatever. And then you get to this bout, and all the pieces are like, I'm like, okay. And the interesting thing is, when I knew it was Uzbekistan, I was like, okay, this kid's going to be able to box, because you came in wanting really high guard, and they take their head off the centre line. You were just popping that. Can we just talk about your incredibly long levers for your height. What is... I'm like, nah, boy.
I thought people didn't know about it, you know? I thought no one could tell.
What? That jab? Like, joking aside, that's it looks to me like a very difficult jab to get around. I'm not talking about your head around, just generally like trying to navigate. That was a word I was looking for.
You know what? I have to big up my father for that, you know? Because
for them long arms?
Yeah, because I'm built like my dad. He's just a lot bigger than me. But, yeah, like, I never... Everyone's like, oh, you got long arms, you got long arms. I never thought about it.
He's got long arms. The thing is, though, you can see it. The thing is in the ring as well. I'm like, that's frustrating for your opponent to get around. And I'm sure they taught you that, but like just poking and pushing and you're poking out that jab. It's like, come on, man.
You know, I was never taught that.
Was you not?
No, because I just came off like the rough environment, chip on my shoulder. I wanted to rough everybody up. I wanted to get up close and personal with everyone, you know. But then I started realizing this kind of hurting me, like trying to beat you up. Like that's hurting me. And then even when I was on GB, they was like, you remember, you got to box over 3-4 days.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, cool. Maybe I should actually like hit and not get hit. Whereas me, bro, I'll be honest with you, I love to fight.
It's knowing when to fight and it's knowing when to box. And here's the thing as well. I've noticed you've got an amazing engine as well.
And
the thing is, I may be giving too much, but like, I'm like, yeah, I've noticed that about you, which is going to be a problem for people. You like to have a scrap as well, which is obviously going to be a problem. But then you can rely on your boxing. So it's like, actually, those ingredients are going to make for an exciting...
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Professional.
I wonder what that's the recipe too. Or we're going to find out, though, definitely. Like, I mean... for a long time, I was fighting off just heart. And I've never, like, you can never take away a man's heart.
Listen, I'm going to be honest, you can teach somebody as many tricks, slicks, this, that. If man ain't got heart, or woman.
Long day.
Listen, you're in the wrong sport, my friend.
Definitely.
And you know what? It's okay. It's okay. But I'm telling you, I can tell whether someone's got heart or not, probably from the first spar. And I've seen fighters, and I've been asked to give opinions on fighters before, and they've gone, "What do you think?" "Oh yeah, what do you think?" And you're like, "They don't like getting hit." Like what? They don't like getting hit. Now you have to make a choice. So what you come with, all those attributes. Here's the thing as well. Hard work. What's the saying? Hard work. I can't even think what the saying.
Hard work beats talent when talent.
Hard work beats talent when talent don't work. And I am telling you, it's one of the most frustrating things as a coach. So when you get somebody that's got raw talent, they've got heart, but then they're going to work. Oh my days.
Yeah, Chris Hall must have been happy.
It's not a joke, you know.
I could imagine.
This is the thing. You hear it all the time. And you go back and speak to coaches and you see it all the time. They're going, oh yeah, they're going to be an ABA champion. Oh, what? And rarely it's the ones that you think is good. And then there's the quiet one just tip-tapping that no one's paying attention to. And they will always be the one that does. I'm not saying that there aren't naturally talented people that then make it, but then there's the quiet ones in the back.
I see it in my gym, like
all the time.
Yeah, I see it, and I see some of the boxers, like you don't notice them, but then 6 months time, they're the only person you see.
You're like, what?
Yeah, and you're thinking, oh, how did you get so? Oh, well, you was giving him attention, he was working away.
When you was talking and playing the fool.
Exactly. It shows, like you said, you get found out, and you can't. The thing is, you can't hide nothing in the ring. There's nowhere to run. But I love that.
You talk about also them quiet ones. I mean, Chris Congo, we was talking about off camera, and he was somebody that you looked up to. He's one of them kind of,
big brother. Like I try my best to express it to him all the time, like whenever I can. But if it wasn't for him, people like Ahara Davis, people like Isaac Chamberlain, Riyad Rapport, like these are the guys that before I ever had my first fight, I would watch like their little showcases and the videos, like introduction to who it is, and it was like those are the guys. And I ain't gonna lie, it did play a part of the fact that they look like me. I look like them. And it was like, oh wow, like you guys look like me, come from similar backgrounds like me. I can relate to you guys so much. Yeah, maybe I can do this. And then so that's where it kinda like sparked like, oh nah, I must be able to, because like I said, there was no blueprint or there was no role model. There was no one for me to look up to and say, you did this, I can follow it too.
When you say there was no role model, are you talking about around you? Because I understand that you liked Floyd Mayweather. And like growing up, a lot of the young black boys always seem to like, I could be wrong, the American fighters.
Yeah.
So then when you talk about Ahara Davis, Chamberlain, Congo, is this kind of the first time that you start to see a representation of yourself that's British and your age group?
Because funny enough, Ahara Davis is from Hackney. I was born in Homerton. So I was like, you're around. Like, you probably was born in the same hospital. And then with that, like when I look at fighters like Floyd and Sugar Ray, they're boxers, but also like they're so far away. It's like starstruck celebrity. Like, you know what I'm saying? They was superstars by the time I was 10 years old. You know what I'm saying? Whereas like Chris Congo's not much older than me. He may be 10 or 11 years. You know what I'm saying? So it was like maybe even less than that. So it's like, really and truthfully, you're actually of the age where you could be my older sister's older than you. You could be a sibling to me. And it was like, yeah, okay, cool. Like I can see, man, like around where I'm from, and yeah, you guys are close to my age. Maybe I could actually do what you're doing.
Yeah, seeing him as an amateur as well. I mean, he was a quality amateur, and obviously his brother as well.
Yeah, I met his brother.
Yeah, he didn't. I mean, he did turn over, but the pro game wasn't for him. It was a shame because he was a good boxer.
He showed me some stuff. I thought, wow, like it was good. Like, cause I used to, when I met Chris Congo and I built a relationship with, like, it was like, cool. I got a call like, oh yeah, like, do you want to come spar Chris? I was like, what?
Me?
Yeah, I was like, right, maybe like, okay, cool, like for sure. I was excited to do that, and it was like, it was always a pleasure. To be fair, I started to see like, okay, cool, like these guys actually within reach to me, like even be getting onto Team GB. You got guys like Connor Tisbury, Rampton Musa that was here. Before I met these guys, I knew who they was.
Yes.
But man, I was in Team GB at the same time as them. Like, while they were coming to the end of their career, I was on, and then I was with them for like maybe a year and a bit. These guys actually became really close friends of mine. And not only is that the case, these are guys that I looked up to. I'll even say look up to now to a degree, because like I still have that respect for both of them, you know what I'm saying? As much as like I call them my brothers, but like my guys, man, I love them to death. Even DJ, Lishazori, like. And then it's just like a lot of these people, they were older than me. And I'm the youngest in my actual family. So it's like, I'm looking towards like older males.
You like the baby brother?
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, man. Then you got Jamie TKV.
I was going to say he's White Hart Lane.
Yeah.
I've cornered him before, you know.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. So there was some competition that we went to. It was a nationals, I'm sure, and they needed someone to hand up in his corner. So I helped out handing up. You joined Team GB. That's kind of one box ticked off.
Definitely.
And I understand that you obviously wanted to go to the Olympics, which I'm guessing is everybody's dream when they get on Team GB. You know, what was the moment that you kind of decided, though, that I've got enough experience from the amateur game and I don't want to do another cycle?
You know what? I would definitely say my dream as an amateur was, I just wanted to put on an England vest. I wanted to look at my uncle. I wanted to look at my mom and my granddad and say, look, I actually boxed for the country. I get on Team GB, you've already done that. I had already done that a few times now. Like I won gold for GB. I won medals. I showed that, yo, I'm really here. So it was like, I had already surpassed everything I thought or aimed to do. And it was like, okay, cool, if I can go to Olympics, I want to go 2024. Then I end up going. Like 2028 would be lovely. LA, what? That would be great. But let's just be honest now, like, I knew where I wanted to go. And the end goal as a boxer was, I wanted to be under them lights.
Do you think, though, that the kind of uncertainty about it being in the 2028 Olympics, did that play a part in it?
1000%. Olympics is I don't want to downplay the Olympics, but for me, it would have been a stepping stone into the pros. And that kind of uncertainty, I'm not entirely as young as I would have been in the 2024. Whereas 2028, I'm 4 years older now. And it's not like I was 19. No, I wasn't. So it's like, I got to kind of make the decision, like, I don't want to grind all these years away, because again, it may not be included. I may not be the one to go. There's a whole load of variables that could be X, Y, like whatever. My thing was, I had an amazing amateur career. Like, for my standard, I did more than what I thought I could have done. What was the dream? Go professional and make something of myself.
Do you think people really understand the concept of the time on GB? And what I mean by that is, Is it easy to get chosen for competitions once you're there, or is that a whole set of competition within competition, if that makes sense?
I would say so. But, I think a lot of the things that kind of changed the dynamic was World Boxing and AIBA. I'm not even too educated on the politics between the two organizations. I'm not knowing much. But I knew that played a part in some of the competitions. The weights changing, what competitions, who's going where, what countries can go to where. That because they were so, for me, I didn't really have much understanding, and I knew it made a difference to where we was going. It was like, I don't really, what can I be certain of in myself? And I did good as an amateur. I stayed, kept my ears kept everything to the ground, and I did my job. And then I went to the tournaments and I performed, and then it was just like, okay, what can I do now that I want to do, that I'm certain of? Because when you're boxing in these tournaments, you're going to a tournament. It's the tournament that's the event. It's the championships. It's this, that, and the third. They're going to go on without you. I can't, there's no Cameron McKay fight in the professionals without Cameron McKay. And I thought that gives me that kind of, in my own career, it falls on me. That's the whole reason why I got into boxing. I played basketball for a bit. I've tried football. I'm not a football fan, but I tried football. I like sports.
Yeah.
But I loved the fact that boxing forced me to take accountability.
Effectively, and we've said it before, all the training, all the guidance, but when push comes to shove, it's just you and your opponent.
Exactly that. And the thing is, you don't win fights on the day. You win fights weeks before. I didn't beat you on the 20th of February because something happened that day. No, I beat you for everything I did prior to that. I just did things that you may have not been willing to do.
Listen, it comes down to that. When there are two professional athletes that have got funding behind them, they're in a world class, and some people don't have that at world level, or at national level, international level, I should say. You've both got great teams, great coaches, great this, great that behind you. It sometimes just comes down to will.
Prior to being a GB, I'd never been funded by anything. I never made a penny off boxing. I never had a sponsor. Never had, prior to that, nothing. So it's everything I did, I literally self-made. The subs I gave coach, these are things my family blessed me as much as they could. Big thank you to them. Granddad did amazing. But in regards to me trying to get my boxing gear, travel to the gym, these things cost money. I know they say boxing's a poor man's sport, but how poor can you really be?
Do you know?
You know what I'm saying? How poor, let's talk about that. How poor can you really be when you got 300-pound gloves on? You can't be that poor.
It's interesting though, because when I was boxing, I was given my first pair of boots, right? And I trained in them boots till the sole was falling off. At one point, I taped around because I was so proud that I had somebody else's boots. And other people now, they'd probably laugh at that. They'd be like, "Look at I should mash up shoe."
I've seen them, but you know what? That's a blessing. Because even in that, even to rate myself, nobody didn't give me no shoes. No one didn't give me no gloves. Nothing. So it was
and the kit is expensive. It's no joke.
Exactly. So for me, it's I had to work a little bit harder to even fund my dream. So I take more pride in it. So it means a lot more to me.
You know what, though? You don't make excuses. This is one thing I have not heard you once say, a poor me. The subtext has never been a poor me. I've worked hard, but poor me. I'm not getting that from you at all.
I'm not the type of man to feel sorry for myself, regardless of what happens. End of the day, I love the fact that I have the power to take ownership of who I am.
Yeah.
That's my thing. That's where you find the most power. Because, if there's anything in the world that you can kind of own it yourself, and I think you should love yourself. You should take ownership of everything that you do. And if I can't be proud or at least enjoy where I'm putting my energy, it doesn't make sense me putting my energy there.
Yeah. You need a team around you, but ultimately there is power in investing in your own journey.
Definitely.
Investing in this is my thing. I am earning money from it.
Even with being a part of a team, you need to make sure all 4 tires got air in them.
It's true, you know.
So if you're one of the tires, then brother, I mean,
yeah, come on, man. Well, you got to go. You got to go.
What can I give you if I'm only 50% of who I really am? How can I give you 100%?
But so I was having this conversation with a coach friend of mine the other day, where like he's having to run around after his boxer, telling him what time to come. I said, me, no. From the time, I said, listen, that's what the amateurs are for. When you become a pro, if your coach is running around telling you what time to this and that and eat and skip and jump and run and...
Yeah, like...
that can't work.
Yeah. And I think that's one thing I have to be thankful for Team GB as well. Chris was like that as well. Like, Chris didn't really have no problems with me. And with Team GB as well, like, you would come, they'll tell you, look, the session starts at this time, but you guys make sure you come here a little bit earlier. Like, come here.
As in not black people time. That's effectively the subtext.
Boy,
that was the subtext. Listen, you know what? Like, please, I beg you, don't come in black people time.
Oh my gosh, bro. But nah, it's like, they was like, yo, because you're a professional. That means don't come to the session when the session starts. Be ready for the session.
I will make an excuse though. Sometimes like people are late because they think we're lazy or whatever. It's like, no, it's because I'm doing a job on top of this. Like you saying you're studying and then from studying you got to run home to like do a job and then I got to go back. I'm not suggesting you were late, but like I think sometimes people take that like I'm supporting myself throughout my journey. And so sometimes timing...
no, of course, that's possible.
is not at the top of my agenda.
Yeah. You're human, man. You're human. Me, this is why I'm a bit obsessed because everything I did was based around this. So it's like, I mean, I'm more likely to be late for a shift than to be late for the gym. Now, that has its own drawbacks, but you make your decision.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You have to, somewhere when you are juggling all them things, somewhere something's going to fall. And I think you prioritise like, boy, I can do without the job because effectively I'm no disrespect to your job, but I've got a foot out the door because I'm boxing. Do you know what I'm saying? Let's be real.
But I have a shot. I have an opportunity. Like, cool. So one of the reasons why I was like, yeah, cool, I know this is I knew this was the time for me to leave. I couldn't live with myself if I knew I could have been a serious professional boxer and I didn't give it a shot. I would have been heart in my stomach. I would have been sick.
And that'd have been on you.
Exactly. That's my decision to make. I mean, it's a hard decision to make, of course, because I mean, Team GB had his perks, had his advantages.
From the comfort of Sheffield.
Like, I was like, yeah, like, I mean, there's that security and stuff. You have the support. I mean, Rob McCracken's amazing. And the GB coaches there, they were lovely. Like, and the team as well, like, you're not alone. I mean, there's still some form of competition between all of you, but you're still not alone. But at the same time, it's like, I knew what I wanted to do. I knew I had the opportunity to do it. And I knew I had the skills, I put in the time, and I earned the accolades. Like, I earned everything. And it's like, bro, I'm in a position where I can set it off and just go crazy and become something great. This is an opportunity. Whether I do that or I don't, we're going to find out on the next episode. But it's like, I mean...
we ain't finished the script yet.
Exactly.
Here's the thing. You can't, regardless, once somebody's mind is made up and their foot's out the door, you got to let them go.
Yeah.
So you decide, obviously, to turn over. Have you got a team yet? Have you got a promoter yet? Or how's that going? I
personally haven't put anything down on paper. I mean, I'm in my talks with whoever I'm in my talks with, and I think they're going quite progressively. And I know what I want. And I know what I'm looking for, not only in regards of what I'm getting, I know what I want as in like, what allows me to still be comfortable and be sure of myself. Like, cause I'm come to find out like how lonely it can be, how frustrating it can be. And it's like, okay, cool, I want to make sure I do this, but I do this in a way which I can still thrive and excel. Because like, if you thought being a boxer in itself as an amateur was lonely, in the pros it's extremely lonely.
Listen, it's a business, and I think the difficulty is sometimes when you leave the Olympics without, let's say, a world championship or an Olympic medal, you kind of got to hold your nerve a little bit. You have to hold your nerve and go, actually, I was still on Team GB. And rather than taking some little crumbs, you have to kind of Do you know what I'm saying? And listen, everyone's different, but I think sometimes you can get presented with a, and it's like, are you mad?
Oh yeah, I've seen some things, definitely. But you know what?
You're like, really?
I just thought of it and I thought, you know what? If it's not my business, it's not my business.
Yeah.
Them type of things there. I'm looking at like, what? Or like I'm looking at certain other people because I've heard outrageous things.
That was going to be my next question. Has anybody kind of took you under their wing, having, you don't have to name names, but you can certainly talk about the discussions that were had around, I've heard some horror stories. And, has there been times where, like a boxer has sat down, somebody that has turned over and they were like, the bright lights, and they get to the bright lights, they're like, what? This is different than I imagined it to be.
Yeah, you know what? I haven't had my debut yet, but I know like how I feel right now. But when you get me in front of bright lights, everything's gonna change just like that. It's just gonna change. Like I'm gonna be like, oh my gosh, like, I know I'm gonna. The occasion's gonna be like, wow, like, I really did it. I really did what I actually thought I was gonna do. So I imagine that most people would have been like that.
No, what I mean is more so the business side, that they're like, I heard stories, but them stories is true.
Oh, almost everybody. But it's like, not everyone has it hard, not everyone has it easy. It's like, one thing I had to actually understand as well that people was emphasizing to me is like, everyone's journey in the pros is different. So don't go to someone thinking, oh, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? Because number one, like you said, it's a business. The business climate goes up and down all the time. Things change all the time. You can't dictate that. And you can't reach out to someone and be like, oh, so what do you think of this? Do you think this makes sense? But it's like, really truthfully, it might have made sense 6 months ago. It might have made sense 2 years from now. If you sit down there just trying to think, like, when is it the right time, or is this the right thing to do? Brother, the right thing is always going to change, and you have to actually understand and accept that. And I think that was really difficult because, again, like you're going into the pros. It's a competitive world. You're comparing yourself to other people, and like I had to kind of accept, like, no, this isn't for me. To act, let's go skill for skill. Let's go physique for physique. Let's go fitness for fitness. But if we're talking about the business side of things, I can only really look at like, okay, cool. This is what I'm doing. This is how I've done my thing. And does it work for me? Yes. All right. On to the next one.
Is it effectively something where instinctively you've gone, I have to, I might ask people advice, but like it changes and stuff.
Yeah.
And instinctively, I just have to go with my instincts to a degree.
Business changes. The climate of everything changes. It doesn't stay the same. It's never stagnant. But it's like, you have to kind of remember that, like, today's price isn't yesterday's price. So that means tomorrow's price may not be today's price. Have confidence in your skills and have confidence in your character that you'll continue to excel, and you will grow and you'll understand more about the business. But you also need that right guidance from, like, I don't know, for some people they got lawyers or whatever. Like, just make sure you understand what it is you're getting into with whoever you're getting into, because it is a business. And some people horror stories, some people have lovely stories. Now, who wants a horror story? No one does. You kind of just have to have faith in the people that you have around you and have confidence in your own decision-making skills and take accountability for the decision you make. Because taking accountability isn't just a negative thing. It's also like when you do something, when you make a really good decision, it's got to be like, yo, buff my chest, I did that.
So you've mentioned character, and I think most certainly different characters get treated different ways. Mm-hmm. I feel if you're a character that has a subtext of, you can't play with me.
No, definitely, of course.
Do you know what I'm saying then?
Yeah, people treat you as they view you. That's not even just in boxing, that's in life.
In life, my friend.
Definitely. So, I mean, the way in which you carry yourself, because me, I bust the jokes. I do whatever. But you might see me at weigh-in and I don't bust a smile.
But here's the thing, I read somewhere as well, and I think that's a boxing thing. Because it's such a tough sport, we have got some comedians in the sport, haven't we? Sometimes people go too far. You're like, no, come on, man. Definitely. But, we are, I think, generally a funny bunch of individuals. Do you know what I'm saying?
Love it.
Do you know what I mean? our humour is kind of dark, isn't it, sometimes?
Sometimes, definitely. Some of them, I don't know, they can be, I don't know about me, but some of them can be, honestly.
Yeah, some of them are like, really? But my point being is that I think that sometimes when they talk about people taking kindness for weakness, when you're humorous or you joke about, people feel like you're not serious, like you're a clown. It's like, nah, you're mistaking me.
Of course, but I mean, the way I kind of see it as well, like, boxing has also helped me build a better relationship with God as well. I'm very, like, my faith has been, like, become stronger. I also think to myself, whatever is to be revealed, God will show you.
100%.
So if you think I'm a clown, I'm gonna find out. And when you find out I'm not a clown,
I'm no clown.
Yeah, you're gonna find out. I think internet is something to be played a bit like a game, because a lot of these things are just like, they're fabricated. Like they're just like, yo, do this, act like this, or post this because it's gonna get views. So it's like, until I meet you in person, I don't know you. Like, I don't even want to look at how you conduct yourself. I don't even really want to see it. Because by the time I meet you, you could be a complete, like, Ahara, bro. Ahara's one of the coolest guys I met.
He is.
He's one of the most down-to-earth men I met when I met him. I was like, oh.
And I understand why he did what he did, but I don't necessarily agree with it. And why I say that, because of the backlash this man got.
Yeah, for sure. I think the backlash was crazy, and it's unfortunate because, like, I mean,
he's a nice guy.
Yeah, I know. So it's just, oh man. But as I'm saying, when I met him, he's crazy down to earth, and it was good. Like, I sparred him when I was 18. And the guy's tough, but he's not even like a bully in sparring. Like, he didn't take advantage of the fact that I was so young and inexperienced. He didn't even take advantage of that. Like, he's kind of like uplifting as well. Like, he was good.
Everyone was saying, no, he's mad cool. So I interviewed him. I was like, oh man, I wish people could see this side of you.
No, he's a lovely man, lovely guy.
But I get it. And I don't think, not because I don't think he was talented enough, but I don't think that he would have got as far in his career, because he was talking some goddamn people. City.
He grew a crazy following just off his behavior alone, his persona. Persona is the word I'm looking for. I see it on the internet. Everything's either a facade or a persona until I see you in person. Till I can see you in person and look at you and have a conversation and reason with you. To me, I just take everything with a pinch of salt. To me, verbally, or it's displayed to me through behavior. And as I'm saying, my dad said this to me. He said, the only person that will show you something that's not true is a magician, but that's because you paid him to do it. Everybody else is going to show you the truth and tell you a lie. The magician will tell you a lie.
Yes. And you just spoke about you have gotten closer to God.
Yeah.
And is that something that, were your family religious, or is that something, again, that there was a particular moment, or?
It's just as life got a bit more serious and a bit tougher. And to be honest, it's just like understanding faith and even learning the definition of faith. Because to be honest, you have to have faith in yourself. And then we'll come to having faith in yourself, like, you gain a certain power, like, over yourself, and you walk with a certain kind of confidence because you believe in yourself. And then you also have to, I feel like it's always good to kind of have a level of faith in a certain entity, because it gives you, number one, it keeps you humble, keeps you grounded. Not only is that the case, it's like everyone needs something to believe in. And even if people don't specifically believe in God, everyone believes in something, even if it's only themselves.
So you weren't encouraged by family or anything?
No. My journey to that was basically from just experiencing things, because life ain't easy. And like we was even speaking about, like, people, young men going through life alone. Obviously, the only reason why I say young men is because I'm one myself. People's experiences are different. But for me, it's like, as life got tougher, life got more serious, things get a bit, maybe bleak is the right word, but it's hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel. So you have to believe in something. And you're human. Not always you're going to have the belief in yourself to the degree in which it was maybe when your arm got raised in a championship. Because on an average Tuesday, when you're going to work that regular job like most boxers do, you have to still look at yourself like you're that same person.
It's the reality, isn't it?
Yeah.
I know we talked about, obviously, there are conversations you could have with your mentors. Do you think that there are conversations that you've had with God that you've definitely haven't had with anybody else or dare to, you know?
Of course, I think that relationship with the Creator is more so, before anything, it's personal, spiritual. It's before it's communal. So with that being said, it's like, it's not a relationship, it's your relationship.
Ah, yes.
So before you take it anywhere further, you should be able to come to him in confidence, or at least feel as though you can, because you have that faith in him and yourself.
In sort of, let's say, 5 to 10 years' time, where would you like to see Cameron McKay's career or life even?
Well, I mean, we all want to be world champions. We all do. All I can definitely say is, one thing when I can ensure is, I'm going to do everything I can. I want every single problem that comes with me being me, and I want every single benefit that comes with being me. I'm confident in my ability. I'm confident in my attitude. I'm confident with my approach to training, that I will go very far in professional boxing. How far, only time will tell. I say that all the time. We know where we want. We all know where we want to go.
Do you have a time limit though?
Time limit? I mean, 35. I mean, maybe. No, I'm joking. Not earlier, but it's just more so like, I love the game, but I know that it's a dangerous game. People get hurt, and I do want to leave the game with all my faculties. But I know definitely I do want to be a world champion, and I know I'll be making noise in the professional games. Like, I know in my heart of hearts I'll be doing that soon. Just
briefly, you talked about obviously being at university, getting a degree. I didn't ask you what the degree was in.
Yeah, so I did sport business management. So I wanted to understand how sports industries worked, whether that's sporting goods or sporting events. So I mean, I still have, there's things I can do outside of boxing, because boxing is a short career. Like, let's look at it like this. If we're going to talk like very open about it, people see boxers on the internet and think, oh yeah, he's doing this, he's doing that. It's like, that's a job. The same thing you do and retire at 65, 68, he just retires at 35.
Exactly.
It's still a job. Sports careers are the shortest jobs you will get.
That and dancers, probably.
That too.
Yeah.
You feel me? Anything where you use your body, you need that youth on your side, because your body's going to deteriorate, especially when you're taking blows to your brain. Do that for 20, 30 years and see how far you get. You're not going to get very far. My main thing was, I wanted to understand how sporting, because I got a passion for sports. I've come to learn that about myself. But it's like, you could understand how to sort of like enter the sporting goods world. Like, how many people make boxing gloves now? How many makes, and even if we want to look at like the like Nikes, like Jordans, that's all sporting goods. Like, we just made it fashionable. But it's actually designed for sport. It was designed for sport originally. So there's things of that nature. And not only that, I've been around some very good people around my area, and it's like, I've met authors, people who have small businesses, medium-sized businesses, big businesses. So it's like, there's so many different avenues that I can use to sort of venture outside of boxing, which I'm going to have to do one day, because I mean, God willing, I'm going to be still alive when I'm in my late 30s. So it's like, yeah, what are we going to do then?
Yeah. Oh, it sounds like that you see boxing as not a stepping stone, but like a career in itself that can be a springboard for something bigger and better.
Definitely. It took me a long time in life to see myself as not just, like, I saw myself as a boxer before I was a person. But then I had to understand that the more I invest in myself as a person, the better boxer I become. I used boxing to change my life. I used boxing to like go further. I used boxing to enhance the way I see things, just to develop as an individual in general. The relationship's almost symbiotic. So it's like, the more I put into myself, the more I put into boxing. The more I put into boxing, the more I put into myself. And until that's done, there's going to come a time where I'm no longer a boxer. And when that time comes out, I should be an amazing person, if I'm not already.
What does AJ's journey mean to you?
Oh, that's a big thing, because AJ, he changed British boxing. Like, if it wasn't for him, like, people, again, I always say this, like, people look at these, like, boxing as like, oh yeah, he took a loss or this, and it's like, brother, He says sport is competition. Who wants to watch something where you know he's gonna win all the time? You're taking the excitement away from the sport. He's a sportsman doing a job. He's passionate and he's very good at what he does. It's the only reason why you know his name. So his journey just kind of shows like he started somewhere. We all start from somewhere. That's the first tick. He reached the height of amateur boxing. Second tick, unified world champion. Come on now, bro. What more do you necessarily want from him? He's an inspiration to a whole load of people.
The fact that he's been able to transcend the sport, man is walking away from the sport with, and I'm not talking about necessarily money, although he has got generational wealth. I'm talking about the businesses on the side, the opportunities that he's been able to create for himself and for other athletes with the agency and management and bits and pieces. You know what I'm saying? He's kind of given people a blueprint.
Exactly that. And that's one of my motivations for myself. He went to the Olympics in 2012. He was world champion, I think, 2016. When I was 15, I walked into the gym, dipped my foot into the water a little bit, 2016. And I saw some things and whatever. Them times, who's the person that everyone wants to go watch? What's AJ? People my age, none of them, no casual people my age that don't care about boxing, don't know anyone other than AJ. And Tyson Fury.
Do you want to see him and Fury, or do you want to see him and Usyk again?
Him and Fury. But that's not what I want to see. I want to see him and Wilder.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like I want to see that. Like, I mean, I think it's a great fight. Like, for him and Wilder to box. They're both huge. They're both strong. They both can bang. Like, we come to see heavyweight boxing to see and watch fireworks. Like AJ said in his last fight, roll the dice. I want to see that dice get rolled. What I would definitely say is, my reason for picking him fighting Fury over fighting Usyk is because I've seen you box him twice.
It's true.
You
got beat twice.
Yeah. The big three in the heavyweight division when I was a young man, well, I'm still a young man, well, a younger man. The big three in the heavyweight division was Fury, AJ, Wilder. That's who we wanted to. We wanted to see you three mixing. I don't want to see the fights for the belts. It's not even. It's just the fight between two people I want to see have out, because I know you're.
It could be in the park.
You know what I'm saying?
It could be in a car park.
Yeah, give me that phone. Yeah. Let me know you guys in the park.
Yeah, I'm coming. Yeah.
I'll bring a fold up chair.
Yeah. I hear what you're saying.
I don't want to see that. Don't care about the belts when it comes to that. It's really just the fact that we know you guys are official.
I personally have said that after the Daniel Dubois fight, and there's arguments both ways, but I thought he took a lot of punishment in that. To me, I'm like, you got enough dough. I don't even know why you don't just leave the sport. Why take extra punishment for the sake of taking extra punishment when you are rich? That's my line of thinking. I think the same about Fury as well. I'm like, I'm not being funny. Like, don't get me wrong. If they fight or whatever, I'll watch it. But there comes to a point where I think, just take your money and run.
And that's why I'm kind of curious. I kind of want to know, like, the love for the game. Like, I want to know. I would love to be able to sit and ask these guys, like, pick their brain a bit. You're only doing it because you're getting something from it.
And what is the it? Because it can't be money.
That's what I want to find out. And if the it is that strong, it's got you going back again and again and again, I might want to know what that is. So.
They talk about Andre Ward and like, he should have one more and after, but he clearly was like, let me just dip.
Yeah, Andre Ward, I love how his career went. Like, he did have the hard fights, he did have the risky fights. Well, that's something I'm starting to enjoy about boxing nowadays, because you see Buatsi versus Callum Smith. Then you saw him against Dennis Hughes. Like, people are fighting each other now.
Yeah.
So boxing's going to get a bit more interesting.
I think you just made a really interesting point about finding out what is it that keeps you, and when is it time to chip.
Yeah.
And I think, and maybe this is a question that will be asked in 10 years, 20 years, you know what I mean? But we clearly know now it's not just about money, because we'd understand it. People are prize fighters, they've got to pay, they've got mouths to feed and whatever.
Yeah,
but
sure.
when you were sliding out of silk, flipping, I'm sure there are certain people that still got silk sheets. Canelo, I can imagine Canelo's got silk sheets.
Crazy.
Like Canelo, why?
Yeah, like it's wild to me, because you got more money than I ever imagined.
But man doesn't get really like.
Yeah,
it's not like he gets broke up, so it's like
has he been knocked down before?
I understand him more.
Yeah.
I don't.
Has he been knocked down before? Let's be honest, bro. As fighters, the fact that you'd even go up on the stage in front of millions of people and punch one of it, you gotta be insane. Like, let's just be real.
Oh, we are.
There's something wrong with all of us.
Yeah, there's just like,
that level of
the fact. Do you know sometimes you catch yourself sometimes when you're watching a fight and you see it sometimes on the telly, like when someone's getting proper beat and someone in the crowd's like, get it out, and they're like, and that's a girl as well, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And you're like...
It shocks me.
Yeah, but even that's when I kind of check myself and go, oh, he's an animal.
Oh, man. No, but you know what? Boy, oh, boy. It's like, oh, man, maybe I should be the one in the ring. I kind of want to make people feel that kind of...
But do you know what I'm saying? That, like, sometimes I check myself like going, this is Neanderthal business. The way we're, like, salivating over someone getting, like, battered.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to check yourself and go...
That also kind of, like, AJ said it, we're the modern day gladiators.
Yeah.
We've been...
Yes.
All we wanted, like, how, from the dawn of time, all humans was, like, the big thing was, yo, who's the strongest one of you?
It's true.
So, I mean, even though we're like that, when have we not been like that?
Yeah, it's
true. The whole
true.
reason why this business makes so much money is because we are like that.
Yeah.
People, and it's like, people who don't know nothing about boxing, people who don't know any boxers, put on an exciting fight, somehow they sit down and their eyes are glued to the screen.
That in UFC when people are getting their elbowed in the head and kneed in the head. I mean, that's a different level of crazy.
I admire it though, because it kind of reminds me of all them action scenes in the movies. Like, it looks cool, but oh my gosh, like.
Do you know what people say though about that? Like, especially if you've come from another fight sport, there's nothing more humbling than getting yourself twisted up.
Oh yeah. I'm not to be twisted up by anybody. I'm not to be twisted up.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I'm not to be twisted up.
No.
I'm not a pretzel.
Joanna wanted you when I asked her about would you, she's on
her feet right next to the face of the girl. I was like, oh, I'm not doing it. Nah, I'm not taking the toes in my eye.
But I mean, your eye and your toe. But you know what's crazy? I don't know if I might, I might want to give it a shot just for why not. Because I mean, I still love the fighting. Like, I don't just love the boxing, I love the fighting. But it's enjoyable because, you know, before I started boxing, I started watching UFC. I started watching guys like Uriah Faber. I started, back then Conor McGregor was just popping, and I was like, nah, this is so cool. But it's like learning it, practicing it. I've got a few MMA friends. They're cool, but I look at them sometimes and it's like, you get the cauliflower ears and it's like, oh. Like, that's one of the reasons why I kind of didn't want to do it, because I actually value
vanity.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm with you on that. Listen, I'm with you on that. You're kind of like,
Yeah. I don't want to look at my ears and look at them like that, and then, you know, and then someone puts my nose from here to here. Like,
it's a different level of, it's a completely different level. And just lastly, what about, would you not want to see AJ versus Parker? Because I feel sorry for Parker, you know.
I think Parker's
Batman now, you know.
Yes, Parker's on form. I would love to see it, but to be fair, like, all these guys mixing up with each other, like, bro, I want you guys to fight all of each other. My person was, like I said before, Wilder Fury. But, like, bro, I just want to see, like, what we want to see is the best fight of the best.
Yeah.
And that's just it. Like, Parker's on form. I still see AJ as the guy. So, go for it. I mean, we're here because we love to fight and want to mix it with the top guys. That's what I want to do.
Yeah. Listen, I'm looking forward to your pro journey. I think you're going to do great things, and I think that I feel like that you're going to develop that whole kind of side hustle as well. Have that little side hustle, have big fan base, and I have a feeling that there's big things coming.